Okay, my friends, these are my, my parting words to you in this role as president, and it has been an absolute privilege to serve in this role. I've learned so much, and I have to say it's been one of the most wonderful experiences I've had in my life, and that includes my careers. As you look back on the year 2020 for yourselves, I know you can relate when I say that I never imagined that this past 16 months would, what this would bring. NSCI had to shift so dramatically. Tough times bring out the true nature of people and organizations, and I'm so grateful for the ingenuity, grit, and great talent that makes the partnership of clergy, staff, and lay leaders of this congregation nothing less than the best team. If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. I am passionate about the power and possibilities that can grow in collaboration and community in our Reformed synagogue, and that's why I'm here and feel blessed to be a part of this place. For the past 3 years, I've asked our senior staff for their highlights as the fiscal year comes to a close. I relish hearing from them and reflecting on their perspectives along with my own. The overarching themes are these: we hoped for the best and planned for the worst, and NSCI did more than survive. We surpassed our expectations to be of service, not only to our congregation, but to the community at large. And I have to say, it's, I'm getting emotional. Darn. Anyway, there's so much I can say about our rabbis and Cantor, but I hope you all know how tirelessly they worked, supported by our board and administrative team, inventing and experimenting with any number of ways to serve the congregation, reaching into the fear and isolation and connecting to support those in need emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And we were able to support staff and congregants in crisis as well, because so many of you reached out and offered funds for that purpose, so thank you very much. So NSCI just didn't cancel, we just figured out how to make it happen safely, knowing there were no guarantees. And our teachers, clergy, staff, and volunteers rose to the occasion, learning new technology skills, thinking differently about what we could accomplish, and delivering high-quality experiences. Our projects related to Tikkun Olam grew along with volunteerism, engagement, and participation in programs for our families, teens, and adults across cohorts, including the adult B'nai Mitzvah class being called to the Torah last month. But perhaps the most touching of all is how many congregants went above and beyond to help one another, volunteer, offer resources, and more. I am grateful to the staff for their diligence and the Board of Trustees for comprehensive, proactive planning and leaving no stone unturned, especially with our financial oversight. We did not have to reduce salaries or dismiss any of our employees. And due to the great generosity of the donors to the Imagine the Possible campaign, NSCI is positioned well, free of debt, and with a substantial building reserve. This iconic building is our home, and we will maintain it, make necessary improvements for high security, reinvent some spaces to gather comfortably, connect, learn, and really, really feel at home. And I look forward to completing the campaign and achieving our remaining goals. The pandemic accelerated some of the challenges that synagogues already were facing, and so much has been learned, so much will never be the same. And with that in mind, we are so fortunate that Jeff Echt is our new president. Jeff joined the board in 2016 and was elected treasurer the following year. And thank you, Jeff, for being a calm voice of reason and steadfast partner, leading the strategic vision for NSCI's next evolution. Jeff understands NSCI intimately as a business and more so a synagogue, a sacred Jewish institution that is ultimately about people. And when you work with Jeff, he says that a lot, it's about the people. So now it is my pleasure to turn this meeting over to Jeff.
Thank you, Marilyn. But I have more thanks for Marilyn in a moment. First, I have to thank my wife. As we collectively embark on this journey, Julie has been a wonderful guide both socially, emotionally, and spiritually. And so thank you very much for joining us collectively on this journey. As Wendy mentioned and Marilyn mentioned, the past year has been incredible. We would not have achieved what we achieved as a congregation without the support of Todd Brayman and the staff, and of course the entire clergy team, and especially Marilyn. I'm going to watch the recording, and you'll reference that Marilyn didn't mention her name. The pronouns were plural. Marilyn is a very selfless leader, and we thank you for that. I think Marilyn was a wonderful leader for this past year, and I will make a comparison that maybe only I could come up with, that I would offer that Marilyn Perlman is to NSCI as Moses was to the Jewish people as they were escaping Pharaoh's reign. So let's think about last March. And I'll have a bunch of comparisons, and some of them may work, but some of them may not. Last March, we had this thing behind us, and we had no idea what to expect. And that thing was COVID. Much like the Jewish people, as they approached the sea, they knew what was behind them. It was really, really scary. But as they approached the sea, Moses absorbed all of the surroundings, and he took action. It's exactly what Marilyn did. She absorbed everything around, everything that was going on in this congregation, in the community, and she took action. There are a few things that, and then as we continued to, we literally wandered. Sometimes aimlessly, frankly, but we didn't know when it was going to end. We really didn't. But based on sound foundations, Marilyn continued to lead. I think there's two distinctions that are not comparable to Moses. Moses was taught to delegate by his father-in-law. Marilyn wasn't taught. It came naturally. She truly delegated, and that was a key to our success over the past year. I don't know of a golden calf incident. I don't think there was one. And then when we come to today, I think it's incredibly appropriate, and quite frankly, this is how I got this idea. At the end of the Jewish people's journey, in Moses' journey, he stood outside of Israel, and he couldn't enter. We enter phase 5, and we will not let you enter. So, your grace, your professionalism, your thoughtfulness, and your incredible respect has led us through times that no one could have ever expected, and I hope we never, ever have to deal with again. So thank you again very, very much. We have a memento. So there's plenty of inside jokes, so to speak, on this, and I believe this was Todd or Wendy's idea. I'm not really sure. I contributed a slight bit. But we created staff created a memento that I hope you display proudly on a wall that in words and in pictures describes many things that we went through during your tenure, and particularly during the past year. So thank you again very, very much.